Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Constantine the Third here, and today I am going to be bringing you guys a video where I break down a game that I played recently where I make a pretty significant comeback and end up carrying my team as Vayne. So I figured this would be both a good game to show you guys about how to always stay positive and, think about coming back. But also, I've been getting a lot of requests for full gameplay commentaries or whatever, and I can't talk and play very well, I've found, through trying. So this is going to be me trying to deliver on that side of the equation. So this is going to be a Stonewall style kind of thing where we just speed through everything. So we leash Gragas over here, and the lane is pretty brutal for me on the other side of the table. It's Soraka Caitlyn. This is like, unless it was Caitlyn Zyra, this is the second worst matchup in the entire game for Vayne. This is in Platinum 1, like 50-ish LP on my Smurf. So these guys are, relatively high ranked. Anyway, so we're just gonna immediately the lane starts off really poorly and my Zyra overextends and gets really punished. So I start trading back or whatever, and this Soraka is getting really greedy for damage. So I see that, I'm just trying to get CS, try to play passive, but yeah, they're playing really forward. And there's obviously no point in flashing for that because Caitlyn just had heal, I'd be out of position, and I'd die. So we're just going to keep that was like the big thing that set me behind right there, is just that really aggressive level 1 play. And there's honestly nothing that Vayne Zyra can do against that. They knew their power and they played it well, and I just had to kite back. And so for pretty much the rest of this lane right here, I just have to stay back and be really passive and just get my ass kicked. So like I said in the other Caitlyn video, oh yeah, my Zyra DC'd right there and died. So that was another downside to that. Like, here, I'll show you guys, sorry about that. Like, literally, she, she had connection problems all game, unfortunately. But she just walks into those minions and just gets stuck in DCs right there. So, there's nothing that I could really do about that. I knew she was DC just from the way she was walking, so I didn't even bother healing her. So as of now, I'm just going to be trying to sit here and make the best of this situation, which is, as you can see, rapidly deteriorating as Caitlyn pulls ahead in CS because I don't have a support. And when she is here, she's both really behind in levels and having a laggy connection, so she can't really hit skill shots. So it's just not a good situation. So we're just going to speed through this. Do-do-do. And really the lane here isn't what I want to focus on. I really want to talk about the macro play of this game and how that happened. I've already taught you guys the basics of how to play against Caitlyn or whatnot in a previous video. Oh yeah, and then that disaster happens top lane. So, game's off to a real bad start for everybody right now. And we're just chilling, farming. I know this is boring to watch, that's why I'm trying to speed through it. Oh, sorry. Gank happened. Where I do something pretty stupid, actually, that you can try to learn from. So, Zyra sees that, my Gragas is coming in. So, here, let's just play this again. So here, Zyra sees that my Gragas is coming in, so she flash snares a Soraka, right? Now, the issue is that she didn't really ping she was going in or anything, and she pulled the trigger way before Gragas was even, like, reasonably in range. So I'm like, shit, and I tumble towards try to finish this off. But I flash into the snare right as it's ending, because I'm trying to make something come of this situation. So, now I'm in a lot of trouble here, because I flash forward, trying to get the, like, deadliest game, whatever the mastery is that gives you health back when you kill somebody. I was trying to get that on Soraka, and again, I just kind of panicked because Zyra flashed forward, and that was a huge mistake that ends up killing me. And Zyra, Gragas just kind of dances around here for a little bit and eventually kills the Caitlyn. So he pushes out the lane because he's smart, and obviously Zyra disconnects again. Like I said, just really rough start for us right here. So, we are just going to try to keep farming this and try to stay calm, not take trades, and just be passive, right? Because I know that here's the situation, right? So I'm playing as Vayne, right? Also, this game I'm going for Blade of the Ruined King because they have, well, I'll explain both at the same time. Just hear me out here for a second. So, I'm thinking to myself this. Okay, this is the situation. Pretend I'm still in the summoning platform. This is the situation. As of now, the Alawi is up 2-0. Okay? And there's a 3-1 Caitlyn on that team. Azir is farming well. Olaf has died once. Things are not going well for us. How are we going to win this game is what I ask myself. Because a lot of players are stuck in this mentality of win game, win lane. But when that doesn't happen, you have to figure out an alternative win condition. You have to say to yourself, okay, well, clearly I can't win lane anymore. Caitlyn has 3 kills on me. There's no way. She has a BF sword. What the fuck am I going to do against that? Nothing. I'm screwed. So I can't beat her in lane anymore. So I have to think about, all right, what am I going to do to win this game? Well, I'm thinking to myself, if we go late game, Vayne late game destroys Alawi. She absolutely wrecks it. Sorry, I'm just making sure this is still recording. Good, alright. She absolutely wrecks Alawi late game. And Olaf. Both these backline divers have no hard CC, so they really struggle against Vayne. And also, with an Azir on the enemy team, like, that is a problem. What was it? But he can't get too close without Victor one-shotting him. And same thing with Trundle. So, I have good peel from Zyra with her ult. That's a lot of zone control. So, late game, our team does great. So, all I have to do is limp through this early game, even though it's looking really rough right now, try to make it to, like, the super late game and just carry team fights that way. So, how am I going to do that? Number one, I need to survive lane. Ghostblade is not going to help me to survive lane. Even though there are two very, very squishy enemies on the enemy team. Like, you know, she only has 43 armor. Ghostblade's not going to be able to help me win lane. Because, again, I'm not far ahead enough, or even on par with these enemies to actually have a reasonable chance. Sorry, drinking my coffee. A reasonable chance at beating these guys in lane. So I need lifesteal to help me limp through their poke and try to just keep farming to get big. Now, this also solves another problem. Late game, I have to kill these two big carries, these two big carry tanks, Alawi and Olaf. Now, I can't do that with with Ghostblade. I need Bork to do that. So, Bork solves both of my problems and fits into my win condition, which is late game team fights. That's what I was thinking when I made this item purchase, and that's what's going through my head right now as I'm playing this game. I'm thinking, how am I going to win late game team fights? What's going to help me win a late game team fight? Bork. So now we're just going to keep playing this out, and I'm just going to fast forward through it because, like, that's the thought process. And again, just getting some cheeky trades in here. I'm not expecting to actually get anything of it. She just mispositioned and I punished her for it. And I'm just healing up with my lifesteal. And I blocked the bullet for Zyra because she gets caught. And I'm pretty much zoned off of this tower again. I'm just trying to get experience points at this point. Oh yeah, and okay, I'll show that death because I just totally fuck up here. So what happens is this, right? Gragas comes in from the back. And I'm thinking, alright, cool. So I'm going to go in there, get 2 autos, and knock her back because I want the assist gold. But then, what was it? Caitlyn lands a really nice Piltover Peacemaker on me there and kills me. So that's just an unfortunate mistake by me. I really shouldn't have done that. But again, like, even though that looked really stupid, like, it's not really that big of a deal, and you guys will see why. Like, that assist was actually more important than that kill that Caitlyn got. I could have just let her die there, honestly, and this is a really good fight for us right here, too. What was it? So, my team goes in here, Azir totally fucks up his wall, gets CC'd to oblivion, and just gets taken out. I believe... Does Soraka live? Yeah, she lives. Even though Victor does some really nice damage to her. So we're gonna keep fast-forwarding through this. And again, to speak to that earlier death, hindsight is 20/20, you know? It was obviously the wrong play to do that. I didn't realize she still had her Piltover Peacemaker up. I thought it was on cooldown for some reason. Mistakes happen. It's no big deal. Nobody's perfect. Just keep playing and try to find a way to win is pretty much the attitude that I have going right now. Yeah, and so we get a really... Here, I'll show that trade again right here, because that was a really good trade. And this kind of sets up something that's really good for us right here. So, I see that Soraka missteps right here. She gets too close, so I go in for a quick tumble auto on her, right? Which is fine. But then Zyra lands some really nice damage on Caitlyn right here. So she's stuck, and I know I can't keep chasing her, right? So what I do is I auto her and I condemn her to the wall to get some decent damage on her right here. Not a lot, but it's an incremental advantage that can lead to bigger things, like, later in the lane. Just an unlucky CS right there. Alright, let's show this, because this is a really big deal. So, sorry, I'm forgetting when all these things happen, so I kind of spoil what happens when. So here, Caitlyn missteps, right? She gets way too close to the tower on low health, so I start autoing her, because I'm like, you are way too close. So then she EQs and tries to do the combo, but I sidestepped all of it. So I'm thinking to myself right here, oh shit, I just dodged all of Caitlyn's damage. She doesn't have any traps left because they're all here. She just used her E and her Q, and she doesn't have a headshot proc ready. So she's screwed. If I fight right now, she doesn't even have mana anymore. She dumped everything there. So I'm in a great spot to fight right here. So, and she gets rooted. So immediately I'm like, okay, we're going in. So even though she lands a big hit on me right there, I'm like, fuck it. So I drop ult, what was it? I flash after her, get the Silver Bolts proc, and I'm chasing down this, what was it? Soraka. And unfortunately, Olaf just, you know, comes out of the brush right there. We didn't have it warded because we were stuck against our tower. That's a death that I'm okay with, honestly. And yeah, it happens. So Zyra gets killed here, but Victor comes in and gets a nice little finish on the Soraka. So a 2-for-2 trade right there is really good for us because we're so behind, right? When you're behind and you make an even trade, that's good for you. So right now I'm 1-3, and I'm sure everyone watching this is like, Constantine, you fucking suck at this game. But trust me, things get better. Things get significantly better. I wouldn't upload this if I just fed my ass off and got carried, I promise. I do smart things eventually, trust me. And it's really not like that I've been playing that poorly right there. Like, one of my deaths was because... What was that first death to again? Yeah, what was it? Zyra pulled the trigger too fast, and I didn't react accordingly. The second death, I got greedy for an assist, and the third death was just lack of vision that we shouldn't have even had up in the first place. So, that's fine. Olaf just had me bot side, got unlucky there. So really only one of my deaths, I would say, was like a mistake. Everything else was just kind of like blood for the cause. So here I've decided that I'm just going to keep pushing out this wave again, trying to get strong for the late game. Trying to get my items up, trying to make sure that I am ready to power through at this point in time. So I'm going to let the wave freeze over here. I see Zyra going in for some pressure, and I'm like, alright, I'll see what I can do. Nothing really comes of it. Gragas tries to go in for something else here. Burns the exhaust, which is kind of nice or whatever, but again, nothing really comes of it. So we're just chilling here bot lane, and just farming out the wave again. This is probably one of the more interesting moments I've had in League of Legends right here. So we're just farming under tower, right? No, it's next wave, sorry. So I'm just passive because I don't want to get close to the wave, and I have a feeling that this asshole over here is hiding. Because I saw him bot lane or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't want to fuck with this. So then Olaf, swear to God, he's like, alright, let's dive. And his bot lane is like, I don't want to. So they just go in at this point, right? And I'm fucking amazed. I'm like, you actually went in here? Holy shit. Ward over the wall, condemn his ass, get a kill right here. So it's a 1-for-1 trade that I'm really kind of stunned that he decided to take. That was really good for me, and that's what really started off the snowball, because then Azir gets ganked and dies. So this is where intelligent play comes in. So I'm thinking to myself this, okay, enemy jungler just died, and he just respawned. You can see he's literally leaving spawn right now. And we just killed their mid laner. My jungle is full health, and my mid laner is full health. We can force this dragon easily. And also, they don't have any wards. We have vision control here with this pink ward. They could have had a ward in Dragon Pit, but they didn't. We got lucky, so they don't know about this. And even if they did, they couldn't do anything to stop it. Like, look, Soraka's like, oh, look, you guys are taking Dragon. But Olaf's on the wrong side of the map because he was going for his red buff over there. Probably trying to gank the Trundle. And we get the Dragon. That's a really big deal. Whenever you kill the enemy jungler, you need to go get an objective. That will really help you win games, is getting these objectives. Whenever you have some sort of advantage, whenever the enemy jungler is dead, and an enemy is dead at all, you should look to do something with that advantage, because getting 300 gold really isn't that big of a deal. Getting 300 gold and a dragon is a much bigger deal. Getting 300 gold dragon and scuttle crab control vision in the mid lane, and letting the wave push out so you can get an even bigger CS lead, that is a much bigger deal in helping you win a game. So we're just pushing this out here still. And now I have finished my Blade of the Ruined King and my tier 2 boots. I had a lot of gold there. And I have 2 daggers. So I'm feeling really good right now, and I want to fight. 100% I want to fight. And I just saw my Gragas died mid lane to Olaf, so I'm thinking to myself, alright, probably don't want to fight now, though, because he just was there. But then my Zyra gets a really good catch on Soraka, and I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. So she gets a great CC chain on Soraka, so I tumble in to finish her, and I'm getting on this Caitlyn whenever I'm doing great damage. I bork her or whatever. She nets me, and I try to micro around this trap, but I barely get caught in it. I wasn't in condemn range, so I'm like, shit. So I'm gonna back off here. And she just ults for no reason, and we block it. But then, this teleport from Malawi comes in, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be bad. So, she comes in here, but she's kind of low on health. So what I do is this. I see that she throws out her E, so I flash out of the way so it doesn't kill me. I was trying to condemn her, but I was like, I just can't. If I get hit with this E, I die. So I hit her with that, and I start kiting her. I sidestep the Q smash thing or whatever, and I pick her off. Now Olaf is training on me, and I just know that the only thing I can do here is secure the Caitlyn. She gets greedy, doesn't know I have this warded. I get another kill. So that is a huge deal. I just picked up 3 kills right there. One, mostly due to the fact that I had pretty strong mechanics there, and I was able to dodge the Alawi smash. So that went really well for me right there. And that got me an even bigger advantage. Also, Olaf got greedy and pushed out the wave for no reason. So now we stand here at this point where suddenly I am much stronger than Caitlyn is. Like, a lot stronger than she is. And she needs to be really careful around me, otherwise I will absolutely obliterate her. And I was gonna try to duel her there, but then Soraka showed up. So my thought process is this. Okay. We don't have the outer turret yet. That's my #1 objective I want to get. That double kill that I got right there, triple kill, sorry, was super helpful. Now I'm really strong. So I also want to look to keep fighting people because, again, I've hit a really big gold power spike recently, so I can try to get even more gold to, like, finish my Phantom Dancer or whatever in order to get more objectives. So probably what I'm thinking to myself is this. Okay, I'm level 11 and I'm about to get PD. Let me see how much gold I have. If I just finish out, like, one more wave, I'll have Phantom Dancer. So I want to get this Phantom Dancer, be at level 11, probably try to take this tower, and Dragon are my goals right now in my mind. And I'm trying to think, alright, how am I going to do that? Well, I can't just shove it down this lane because these enemy laners are going to stop me, and that's not going to work. And Azir has great wave clear. Alawi's tied up top lane. She doesn't have her tower, thank God, because this Trundle is a beast. Props to you, booties. Olaf, for some reason, is chilling out top, even though there's absolutely 0 objectives up there for some reason. Not sure why he's there. Must have been clearing jungle or something. Azir's just going to stay mid. So, really, the only thing I have to worry about is this Olaf and Azir roaming bot to kill me because I don't have a tower. That's why I have a ward here, and Victor is over here. He's probably going to ward somewhere over here. So, now, really my main goal is just, I need to find a way to kill these guys. So I'm going to wait for Zyra to catch somebody, and again, I have a level lead on Caitlyn, I'm a lot stronger than her. I can easily 2v2 these guys. I'm going to try to kill them and see if I can get this tower or a dragon or something. I need to get more objectives to keep snowballing this small window lead that I have. Because if I wait, then they could take the game back by them doing something. So rather than being reactive like we were in lane, now we need to be proactive. Now we need to be trying to make plays and take objectives in order to get ourselves farther ahead. That's exactly what I'm going to do right here. So I'm just farming out, trying to get these waves down, pushing out this wave or whatever. I know I'm safe to do this because if you look in the minimap, both of my teammates are over here bot side, so if something did happen, they can come and collapse on it. And here, Gragas gets a great tower dive off. So Gragas is bot side, and he's like, alright, I'm going to go over here, probably take a Gromp, and then he sees, oh, wait, these guys are pushed out under tower, and my Vayne is super fed. So we can just go in here and tower dive them. Zyra gets a good root, and all of a sudden Soraka is totally isolated from her Caitlyn. So she just gets obliterated. And then I set up this really nice kill. Zyra takes it, but that's fine. She's really strong. She's a really strong support since she does so much damage. So that's good. We get this double kill. And so now I'm thinking, alright, well, what objective can I take now? What am I going to be doing? And so now I'm like, okay, well, we're just going to take this tower. Normally, people would, like, back off or whatever, but at this point in time, I'm like, you know what? We need to get objectives, so I'm going to take this bot tower. Again, we killed the enemies. We're going to take an advantage. Also, while this was all happening, Azir roamed up top and killed Olaf and Trundle. So what did he do in response? He took the enemy tower. Azir was out of position, and so he capitalized it to take a tower. Very smart of him. And we're going to take another tower as well. So all in all, in this kind of map control trade that we had, we traded 1 tower and 1 life for 2 towers and 2 lives. So we got we were twice as efficient as they were there, which is really, really nice. Gragas proxying this lane over here. We're going to clear out this farm, then we're going to back out. Also, again, dragon spawning soon. So now, again, on my checklist, We've taken both the outer towers, and I'm like, great, next up on the list is dragon. So I'm going to see if I can force a fight a dragon or something. So I'm going to get the Scuttle Crab vision control over here, and I'm going to back out and buy my items. So I have a Phantom Dancer, a Pickaxe, and a Pink Ward. Always buy Pink Wards. They're really good for securing vision. And I might want to make a pit stop for this red buff here. Yes, I do. And I let Gragas get the small ones because you should do that, because that gives him a lot of experience. So now we're over here at the dragon. We have vision control. Oh, really? I chose not to place down my Pink Ward. That's interesting. Kind of greedy of me there. I mean, it paid off, obviously, and we took it. Now I'm going to go back down bot lane and see if I can get this farm. But then I see that my team is collapsing over here trying to get a pick or something. So I'm like, well, you know what? It's probably time to team fight. I'm super strong. I'm on a 2-item power spike plus a pickaxe. Caitlyn's on a 2-item power spike, but mine's better. So fuck it. Let's go in here. So we're just going to siege this tower, and my Gragas makes the biggest play of all time here, if I remember correctly. So Lowy, we're just getting poked out over here. What was it? Because their team has really good poke, and even though we have a Victor, we're just getting out-poked. Then all of a sudden, this Olaf jumps here, and this is going to be more of a team fight breakdown right now. So I'm trying to stay, if you look where I've positioned myself, I'm kind of like in the safest spot. I have people flanking me on both sides. I need to stay back because I have a lot of people who can catch me. This is Zir, Caitlyn Net, Alawi Pole, Olaf Slow. There's a lot of things that, not hard CC, but things that can slow me down enough to where I die. Or I'd have to burn flash to dodge or something. So here, Olaf turns and starts getting really aggressive on my Gragas. So I get 2 little autos on him, do a decent amount of damage, and I back off. And again, I'm just staying in the back here. I'll take this thing off. Staying in the back here, waiting for something to happen. And all of a sudden, Gragas gets this huge flash knockback. So I'm going in here, and I'm just destroying people with huge amounts of damage. And I get a triple kill. So my Gragas' ult there was beautiful and totally set us up. This is what won us the game right here, was that engage. No, I spoiled the ending. Whatever. And so we go over here and we take this tower. But again, 1 is not enough. The enemies are still dead. We keep pushing, and we take this tower. But 2 is not enough. So we go here and we take this inhibitor. And we're like, alright, sweet. Let's go. So we take that, we back off. I try to take blue, but Olaf shows up. I farm out this wave down here, and I'm going to go back. Oh, and I guess I take this as well. Jesus, and Raptors. Oh. And we pick a Zir there, I guess. Really didn't do anything mechanically. He was just out of position. Oh, yeah, his E was on cooldown, so he just died. So now we killed somebody, and we make kind of a dumb choice here. So we go to push mid because we're League of Legends players. You run it down mid, that's what you do. But there are no objectives here. So since there are no objectives, there's really no point in us pushing this. Like, why? What are we going to accomplish? Nothing. So we kind of get over here, we do some trading or whatever, kind of poke some people, but really nothing comes of it. So we're just kind of chilling over here, and we're like, well, let's go take bot tower then. But by this point in time, Azir has already respawned, so we really can't take this, because again, they just have a lot of poke. Nothing really comes of it. We could have gone here earlier and taken this, but yeah. So I make the call to my team because I want to disengage, and what I want to do now is I want to force the Baron buff over here. Because again, I'm thinking to myself, alright, well, they have an exposed inhibitor over here, so somebody has to stay mid to take care of these minions. So if we just go to Baron and just take it, it's like, they can't 4v5 us, they can't 5v5 us, there's no way they can 4v5. So we back over here, and again, right now, I am super strong. I am 10-4, so I am just by far the strongest person on my team at the moment. And I'm thinking to myself, alright, well, let's just go, let's force this Baron down. So I put a pink ward of it, that's the one I should have put out at Dragon, but I have it for Baron, which is nice. I see they have no wards, so we just start going on it. And again, they have no vision of this Baron whatsoever. We denied it with the pink ward, so we just take it with ease. And then my team makes the call, okay, let's go push top lane. And I'm like, sure, that's reasonable. We can push top, why not? So we're all grouping top lane, trying to push it down. And we can just force this outer tower out really easily, because again, there's nothing they can do about it. Caitlyn was mid, and this is just like, I'll do a TLDR speed up here for you guys. It's a total clown fiesta. We just kind of run in. We're trying to poke people. We really don't have that great of siege, though. We're much more of a team fight comp. So we kind of just get stuck getting pulled by a Lowy or whatever. I try to get some damage, but I'm really careful not to step in traps or anything. But then we see that an inhibitor respawns, so we're like, oh, well, let's just go take that. which is smart, obviously. We realized very quickly that this is important in League of Legends. We weren't getting anywhere by pushing this. We barely damaged it, so we're thinking to ourselves, well, let's just go do something else that's more productive. So there are 2 objectives on the map right now in reality. Well, 3, I guess. This one's impossible to take, so that's not really an objective. They have an open inhibitor, and there's a dragon, or we could go for this outer tower again. So the inhibitor is definitely the most important one to take, but if that can't be taken, then we can just easily peel off and take this air dragon too, because they couldn't fight us. They would just lose. I'm way too strong. But then all of a sudden over here, oh, not quite yet. Not all of a sudden yet, sorry. Gragas comes over here and he's like, all right, I'm going to see if I can get an engage here. And so he's duking it out with this Olaf or whatever. Our Trundle TP backs in, and so he tries to go over here and see if he can pick somebody. But then he kind of goes way too deep and gets hooked or whatever, and this is just a terrible spot for me to fight. Like, if I go in here, Azir's Sand Soldiers are going to wreck me. It's in a huge choke. There's traps everywhere. I can't really kite. This is a terrible spot for me to fight. So rather than trying to force an engage or something, I'm just going to go over here and hit the front line. So I get chunked, like just absolutely destroyed by Alawi. So I'm in survival mode right now, and I'm just kiting back. What was it? Nothing too special there. Barely survived that Azir damage. And we get out by killing both their tanks, but we lose our tank. So as of now, also Victor makes a really dumb choice and stays on really low health, and Azir just kills his ass. Because he was trying to help here or something. But I'm pinging my team, I'm like, guys, get out of here. Like, this is stupid. We can't be here anymore. I'm way too low. So we go 2 for 2 there. Not really the best fight in the world, but again, I just absolutely wrecked their front line. So now, what was it? The idea is, okay, well that objective didn't work. Let's go take Dragon, because again, they really can't do anything about us taking this. Again, just taking objectives. So right now we're thinking, alright, what's the next objective we want to take? Blue buff. Doesn't really... Did we take it? Yeah, Zyra got it. So we saw that the buff was up and we just took that. That's just basic counter jungling stuff. Okay. And we're just continually snowballing our lead. And we're not really getting any good team fights, though, is the issue. We really just need one good team fight. We can end the game, but we can't get it. The other big hampering to our pushing power is these traps over here. Our front line can't step on these traps, otherwise they get absolutely wrecked. So here we're just trading back and forth or whatever. Oh, where'd my character go? And again, nothing's really happening right now. So then my Gragas gets hooked, right? And gets pulled in. But we get a lot of damage on Olaf right there because he way overextends and we punish him. And then Alawi gets caught in plant traps. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, all their traps are down. Now we can force this inhibitor because Caitlyn was forced back by just our frontline presence over there. And we forced down this inhibitor. At the same time, our minions were able to split bot and kill that because I set up a slow push earlier. I should make an episode about that sometime. Slow pushes are good. You basically leave, like, only one of your minions alive against an enemy minion wave, and it pushes really, really slowly. It makes this huge wave, and then it just takes a tower on its own because it gets so massive. And I steal their red buff and back. I take Scuttle, and then I clear mid wave, and I should be backing. I'm not sure why I'm not backing. I'm backing. And now Baron is up again, so we're like, okay, well, this is the next big objective that we need to take. Because, again, we're really far ahead, and we can just kind of force objectives at this point. And then Trundle gets pulled over here, so I'm trying to look for a fight or something. And then I see that Alawi gets absolutely caught out here. So as Vayne, I have 2 really big choices here. I can try to tumble past this front line and try to kill the back line. I get vaporized. Or I can use my kit to just kill their front line. So Alawi jumps on me, and she lands a pretty big ult. But I see that this front line is collapsing on me, and so I just kite backwards, and I absolutely vaporize their front line, right? That's how you play Vayne well in these late-game team fights. If you can just kill their front line, like, look, what are they going to do now? They have no tank. We have 2 tanks left. So, that's why Vayne is so good late game, is that it's basically a battle of whose tank dies the fastest. If the enemy team has a Vayne, it's yours. Your tank is going to be dying fastest. So I absolutely just obliterated their front line there due to just good positioning, staying in the back, hitting the front line, and then we take that objective. Pretty simple, honestly. So, my support backs, even though we probably should have kept pushing because both the enemies were dead. But we're just going to keep pushing anyway. So we managed to actually take this tower and this inhibitor because, again, 2 enemies were dead. But Victor gets caught and killed. And so now I'm, again, in survival mode. So I'm like, alright, well, I got to kite out of here. And I activate my ult trying to get some extra move speed, and I'm just kiting back. and I get hooked like that. So now I'm like really slow or whatever. And this is an important decision I make right here. I can't run away from this guy. He's unslowable. He's got more movement speed than me. So what can I do? I can just turn on him. I have to turn on him and kill him like that. So I get a big crit and I kill him. So then I keep running, and I get out of there eventually. So we pretty unscavenly. Do I stay? Oh, I stay. Why am I staying? I could get killed. I decide I back out though. I take Rom. All right, I heal a lot because I have a Bloodthirster because I'm afraid of getting bursted by the front line. So here, this is really cool actually. So I see Alawi backing and I'm like, all right, let's fucking duel. So I don't get the condemn there, but I sidestep the pole thing. Then I tumble to the side to dodge her other thing. She ults, but I just deal way too much damage and I destroy her 1v1. Yeah, I didn't even have to use my ult or my Bork. Get wrecked. And so then again, I just killed their tank, so I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's take an objective. We killed somebody? Objective. Are you guys starting to get a feeling for... Oh yeah, Olaf steals this though, because he's a fucking beast. But this is kind of like, are you getting a feel now for like how you win games? You just take objectives. You kill people and you take objectives. It's just really that simple. So here we run up and we try to get into a fight or whatever, but the Azir tower and the traps once again just zone us off completely. And I'm trying to kill this tower over here, but it's not really going so hot. So, like, we're just trying our hardest to knock down this tower. But they have Elder Dragon buff, which makes it really hard for us to push in here. So they have this huge kind of concave setup or whatever right now. And we elect to go over to the other open inhibitor because we're like, well, she already has all of her traps set up, so why don't we just switch inhibs? And that turns out to absolutely destroy their strategy, and we manage to take an inhibitor. So the game's basically over at this point. We've just taken way too many objectives at this point. And all of a sudden, Alawi gets CC'd. And Olaf comes running in, but alas for him, I am way too strong. I'm just destroying their tanks here. I dive onto the Caitlyn right here. I kite back out, and yeah, they're toast. I'm going to go over here and kill this Soraka. And I get a triple kill, and the game's over. So, that is a little full gameplay breakdown for you guys about how to come back from a losing lane. You basically stay calm, you play for the late game, be passive, take objectives when you kill people, and you'll win. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Take it easy and have a good one. Make sure to like and sub.